Hey everybody, this is Mark Richards, the owner of Wasatch Recovery and a proud sponsor of Todd Sylvester's BeliefCast. We are excited to have you join us as we discuss Wasatch Recovery's unique treatment programs for overcoming addictions and techniques for developing a healthier lifestyle. We call this the Wasatch Way. Wasatch Recovery's goal is to instill hope, teach resilience, and help you achieve recovery. Enjoy today's podcast.
Here we are again, everybody. Thanks for joining us. This is Todd Sylvester with the Todd Inspires BeliefCast, and today is another edition of the Wasatch Way. I'm joined by the owner of Wasatch Recovery, Mark Richards. Mark, thanks for joining.
How are you? Thank you. I love being here.
Yeah, we've done several of these now, and we're getting some great feedback from people, and that's been pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I just love it. I love to share what we do up here, and I'm glad people are responding to it.
Yeah, and it's great. A few people have come in here based off of what they've heard from the Wasatch Way, and our goal with this in the beginning, Mark, right, is we want to help people. It's no matter what it is, right?
No matter what, any way we can help. If they come here, if they need help getting somewhere else, whatever it is we can do to help, that's what we do.
Right. Well, I want to thank the listeners. Thank you for tuning into this. If you ever have a question or a topic that you'd like Mark and I to discuss, if it's a family issue that you're struggling with and you're not sure how to handle it, we'd be happy to tackle it. And so please send those in to Mark or I, and we would be happy to address those things. Today we're going to talk about something that we see this year after year when it comes to the holiday season, right? We see a bunch of people struggling. And so Mark, you've been doing this a long time now. Let's just get started on, what do you see during the holiday season, and why do you think it's so difficult, especially in recovery where we see a lot of people relapsing and things like that?
I just think that obviously during the holidays, everything becomes sentimental. If it's a family member passing away, if it's, just the holidays themselves, so many feelings come into us during the holidays, and when people are struggling, they don't want to feel. Yeah. And so if we want to call it a trigger, sure. I don't love calling things triggers, but if we want to say a holiday is somewhat of a trigger for a lot of people because they don't like to feel at that moment. They don't want to feel those old feelings that they had or have. And we see that a lot in our industry is people relapsing during this period of time because it really puts focus on the families and on them and past family members or friends, whatever it may be. And so we see a lot of people struggle during the holiday season. Yeah. And it's just one of those things that I think is a great topic to discuss.
Yeah, and that's a good point. What I hear too, Mark, is, these clients that we see, holiday season comes around, and you said it really well about it's sentimental. It's time to get with family. And I think the people, the clients we're dealing with, a lot of them are like, I'm kind of the black sheep of the family. I'm the one who's struggling over here. And so holidays is like, well, I'm not going to be with my family. And they start feeling a lot of shame. Yeah. They start feeling like I am not good, and that shame and that feeling is a very deep rooted negative, expression. And so therefore they don't want to feel that. And so they go back to what continues that keeps them separate from their family. Right.
Yeah. It's so interesting because, families are going out of their way to try and include them. But at the same time, just like you say, then the shame kicks in. Yeah. I'm the black sheep. I'm not the guy that they really want to be there. Our mind starts to play tricks with us almost. Yeah. That, I'm different. Yeah. I'm not okay. And, especially I would say at Thanksgiving. Yeah. Because we all try and get together with family members at Thanksgiving, and the one on the outside is sitting there going, I don't know if I want to go and endure an entire day of sitting here with this family feeling awkward and feeling shamed.
Yeah. What are they thinking of me? I've lost their trust. Do they really love me? I mean, we hear this all the time. And again, I get it on some level. I mean, because again, they've had a rough go.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
And so as we, what we do here at Wasatch, what are some of the things that we do in our programming do you think that helps, our clients kind of get through that shame piece during the holidays and see things maybe a little differently?
Well, first things first, they've got to make a decision to come during the holidays, and that is
Yeah.
a difficult thing for a lot of people. A lot of our clients have children.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our clients have spouses, and to think in their minds, I'm not going to be there, even though they feel awkward going.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they're in conflict with themselves, going, I can't go to rehab right now
Right.
because it's the holidays. And so one thing that we do here at Wasatch is we really create a great holiday season.
Yeah.
We create a home almost as if it were
Yeah.
our home.
Right.
And that's the first thing that we do is we really bring in the holiday spirit.
Yeah.
We've always said that we run a program like it's a family. In each one of our houses, we have 2 homes, and we do Thanksgiving dinners just like we would at our house.
Yeah.
We bring all 16 residents in.
Yeah.
We bring our staff in. Our staff prepares an incredible Thanksgiving
All the
meal,
fixins. Yeah.
right? And so at least they feel like it is the holiday. They're
Right.
not just sitting there
Yeah.
and not being able to enjoy the holiday itself.
Exactly. Yeah. I love that. And, one of the things too, in our houses, we put up Christmas trees. We got Christmas lights on the house. We do like a white elephant gift exchange. What are some of the things that we do outside of Wasatch to give back? What were some of those things which really helps, I think?
So I do too. So a lot of different things that we do, especially in our experiential activities, is typically every year we're working with a Christmas box house. And in the past, I've seen so many people just find a whole different level of themselves by that service project, working with the Christmas box house, working with those children who may not have families, who may be foster kids. And what a great experience that is for them to actually reflect upon themselves. We always like to do Sub for Santas. And for them, again, to be able to go out and to choose an item or a gift for somebody else is something they haven't done in a while.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to see what that does for these, individuals, for themselves. And all of a sudden they start to gain just that little bit of feeling of worth. And that, to me, is just so important. And that's the opportunity they get during the holidays.
Yeah. And the feeling that someone gets when they know they're helping someone else is a huge part of recovery, right?
Oh, so much. Immediately, I say their chest starts to burn.
Yeah.
And they start to feel some value in themselves, and they know that they're doing something right. And again, a lot of people say, my gosh, I don't want to be here during the holidays, but I say just the opposite. What an opportunity to be here and to focus upon yourself and on others. And, I mean, immediately.
And what a gift to give your own family, because your family sees that you're struggling. And if they see that you're willing to commit, like, you know what, even though it's the holiday, I'm going to go get better, right? What a gift. What a gift to give your family, right?
Right. I don't think there's a better gift.
I know.
If you're in this situation, it's absolutely what you say.
Yeah.
Your family would not want anything more than for you to be in a good place.
Yeah.
And so we really take an active role, number one, in creating a great place during the holidays. Number two, they get an opportunity to still see their families. That's what I wanted to make sure that people knew today, is we still give them an opportunity to have the families come and visit, to see their kids on Christmas, to do those kind of things. They're not completely removed from the situation,
right?
But they're in an environment where they start to really gain some self-worth, and I think that's just so important.
Yeah, that's one thing I love about Wasatch. I think we're really good about keeping the families in touch with each other. You know what I mean? And that's true. We don't cut them off from the family during the holidays, but it's enough to where they get to see them enough to where they feel connected to them, but at the same time, they're still working on themselves.
Yeah. And, Ryan Decker, who was on the last Wasatch Way, I when he tells his story, he was
Yeah.
here through Christmas.
Yeah.
He's got 3 of the most amazing kids I've ever met. And
for sure.
he is a father, really, for a moment, struggled there, going, I'm going to miss my children's Christmas. And to this day, he said it was probably one of the biggest blessings of his life, because now he's had 7 Christmases after the fact where he's been there with his family, happy together, and what a joy.
Yeah, and clean. And he was there before, but he was there physically but not emotionally because he was high. I mean, what a different thing. And so what a great gift. He sacrificed 1 to have the 7.
Right?
Right?
And probably for the rest of his life. And
Yeah.
I'm hoping so.
For sure.
And I'm pretty confident that it'll be that way for the
Absolutely,
rest of his life.
Yeah.
And we've seen that in numerous people that commit to go through the holidays. It creates a different level of commitment to me in the people that come during that season.
Yeah, that's a good point. And Mark, you're really big on commitment. Why is commitment to you so important?
Well, as we see, unfortunately, once you're recovered in our industry, there is no compromise.
Right.
And a tiny bit of compromise takes you right back to where you were. And we've seen it over and over and over again. So it's 100% focus.
Yeah.
And for somebody to give up their family and to give up themselves during this period of time allows them, in my opinion, to make that 100% commitment and sacrifice. And when they finally get through the program, again, hindsight's 2020, they look back and go, gosh, what a blessing.
Yeah.
If I could do that
Right.
and not see them during that period of time or be with them on a daily basis, I can do this.
Right.
And it almost creates a confident situation. And I love that.
Yeah.
I just love seeing that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Commitment is everything. You can't half-ass it, because if you do, you get a half-ass result, right? And that commitment is so critical. And I agree with you. It takes an extra level of commitment to come here during the holidays. But like you said, it would be the greatest thing not only greatest gift you can give yourself, but to your entire family and friends. That's what they want more than anything, than you being there at Christmas, but you're still wasted or you're hungover or whatever, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, I challenge people to do that and take that step, because we all know where we're at in the moment.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of courage to take that step during this time of year.
Yep.
And so I always love to plug the holiday season to people, because it really does take that old statement, 20 seconds of insane courage to make that choice to go, you know what? I am going to give this gift to my family, to myself.
Yeah.
And what an incredible gift to give. And I think that's just amazing.
That's great. Well, I want to touch base on something you said earlier. I think it's important that we address, a lot of people kind of dread the holidays, especially in recovery, because they've lost a loved one or there's been a lot of death around the holidays. I know you've lost people close to you as well, Mark. And how do you think we should deal with that, or what's some things we can do, or that Wasatch does, to help these people maybe deal with stuff like that? Well,
again, I think number one, you're in a safe environment during that period of time.
Yeah.
Number two, you've got the support. We're there to support those feelings. We're there to help process that feeling and to teach all of us, really, but those individuals, how to deal with that emotional state. And that's where I see it so important is, it hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah.
You're missing people.
Right.
I also think there's an education there in the sense of there's really one constant in this world, and that's that everybody's going to die. Not that it makes it any easier.
Right.
But we can educate that, unfortunately, we just don't know when, which, in my opinion, creates a level of gratitude for today.
Yeah.
And that's always been a big part of my story, because I'm so grateful that I'm here on a daily basis, because I should have passed away.
Right.
And I think I would have had 4 kids with no father.
Yeah. Wow.
And fortunately, I'm still here.
Yeah.
And so I, I'm just grateful that I get one more day to talk to somebody and allow them to see that I could have been gone. Most of these people should not be here at this
Yeah.
point.
They've overdosed several times.
Yeah.
They'll even admit it. Yeah, I shouldn't even be here.
Right?
Yeah.
And if they can see that there's a purpose for them here at that point, that they literally have probably been saved over and over and over, we can help them recognize those things. And it's interesting during the holiday season that all of a sudden you start to feel, that gratitude of being here and being a part of what this earth has to offer.
Ooh, I love that. Very well said, Mark. Gratitude is the most powerful stimulant on the planet. I always like to tell people that.
I love
because
that.
it's so true. I think, and I'm going to point this out, one of the things I kind of help clients with during this time too is those who have lost a loved one. I'll say, if your loved one was standing right here, right now, just would they want you to be here and be happy, or would they want you to be out of here sad and blowing up your life? And we already know what the answer is. No, they'd want me to be here and be happy. And I'm like, so give the loved one you've lost exactly what they want now.
I love that.
And it's so cool because they kind of go, oh, I haven't really thought of it that way. They don't want you sad. They don't want you blowing up your life. They want you, if they know you're struggling, they say, go get some help. So if you want to honor and love those who have passed, get in here and get your life back on track. Right?
100%. I mean, how well is that said? And it's a great way to look at it. And I often look at different situations like that. Look at it from a different point of view, from the other person's point of view.
Yeah.
Just exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
So often we get stuck in ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And if you'll just pull yourself away and go, if I were the other person, would I be offended? Would I want them to be upset, or would I want them to have joy?
Yeah.
Obviously, just like you said, they want the best for me.
For sure.
Yes. Obviously, we're going to miss them.
Yeah.
But there's no reason to blow up our lives.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
that's just going to put you in a place where you're going to be with them sooner than you want to be with them.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Or the rest of the world's now going to have to mourn for you too.
Yeah.
And so, no, I think that is so important for them to look at it from the perspective of an individual who has passed, or somebody who may feel like they're judging them. Why are they judging me? If I were them, how would I look at myself? Right? Instead of being the victim on this side, why don't you take a different look and say, what if I was them looking at me? And I love that. And you're so great at showing people how to do that. I mean, you're a genius at that kind of stuff. That's what I love about you, Todd.
Well, I appreciate that a lot. Again, it just puts it in perspective, because someone once long ago put it in perspective to me. And I was like, yeah, instead of being sad because I lost a loved one, again, we're going to be sad because we're human. But at the end of the day, I'm going to give that loved one what they want. And when I do that, I'm actually feel closer to that loved one. Right?
Totally agree.
And that's, again, if you're hearing this and you're struggling and you need help and you want to wait till after the holidays, no, now's the time. Greatest gift you can give your family, and so on and so forth. I want to ask you, Mark, if you could give people right now a challenge that is listening to your voice, and maybe they are the one who needs to get in here, or they have a loved one that they know needs to get in here. What's a challenge that you could give people listening right now?
Well, I think it's just that same quote that I said earlier. Take that 20 seconds of insane courage and make a choice.
Love that.
If you're the individual, make a choice to give yourself the gift of coming and getting some help.
Yeah.
If you're a family member and you know that somebody's struggling, give them the gift of being assertive enough to go to them and say, you need some help. Sometimes that courage to say something to that individual is just what they need to get the confidence to make a call. Right?
Right. Absolutely.
And that's really what I say. So many of us don't want to offend, or we're afraid that they might be defensive, or whatever it may be. we get a little apprehensive. We don't want them to, be upset.
Right.
There might be a reaction there.
Yeah.
But ultimately, they're going to hear you. And when they really listen, they're going to know that you care.
Yeah.
And that's where it's so important, because they just need that little bump.
Yep.
And
I love it.
So yeah, that's my advice, is just realize you're saving somebody's life. If they're upset, if they're sad, if they're mad, whatever it is, it's going to save their life.
For sure.
And that's the most important thing.
Wow. I love it. 20 seconds of insane courage. You guys listen to that. I want to thank you, Mark, for taking time today again to be on the Wasatch Way. I really love doing these things.
I do too.
And it's cool because we're getting such a great response from people. Again, people, if you're listening to this, please do what Mark just challenged you to do. You know someone who's struggling, even if it's a distant cousin or anyway, just have that insane courage just for a few seconds and make the call, and tell them to call us, or, and Mark's going to give you his number here in just a minute, but you can reach out to Mark or to me, and whatever. We'll do whatever we can to help your family. And if this is for some reason isn't the right fit, we'll get them to another place. We do that all the time. It's awesome. We're just really good that way. So any last words you'd like to say during this holiday season for those listening?
Yeah. I, during this time of year, especially during Thanksgiving, I just want everybody to know, old residents, people out there that are listening who don't know me or you, I just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
I want to tell you that I'm grateful that if you hear this, that you're listening.
Yeah.
I want to tell people how grateful I am that I get the opportunity to work in this arena here.
Yeah.
It's the most joyful thing in my life. And I want to be able to help anybody and everybody that I can. And so during this Thanksgiving season, I'm grateful. And again, going into Christmas, same thing.
Yeah.
The holiday seasons are meant to be happy and joyous. And I promise if somebody will take that small step, they will have a joyful holiday season this year. And so that's my challenge to everybody.
Yeah, very well said. And I echo Mark's words. I'm grateful for all of you turning in week after week and listening to this podcast. It's amazing where we're at. And I'm grateful for you, Mark, and I'm grateful for Wasatch Recovery. It's so cool to see people's lives change right before our very eyes. I mean, that's the coolest thing. And then family members coming back going, man, thanks for what you did for my son or my daughter or my loved one. It's so cool to watch that stuff. So I echo your words. Grateful for you, grateful for, all of this. And, Thanksgiving's coming up, Christmas is coming up. It's awesome.
Yeah, it really is. This is a great time of year. And we want to make it great for anybody and everybody that we can.
Yeah.
And so we're looking for those people to help. Again, anybody's welcome to call me. They're welcome to call me direct.
Great.
Again, it's Mark Richards. If those who are just first timers, my number is 801-898-7778, and that's just my direct mobile. So if you're struggling during this holiday season, I am ready and willing to help any way that I can help.
Love it. Please call Mark, guys. He'll always take your call. If he misses you, he'll call you right back. That's what's so cool about him. That's probably a very unique thing that he does. It's awesome. We also have a website. You can check it out, wasatchrecovery.com, if you want to know more about our program. But if anything, call Mark and come take a tour. Have your family come check this place out. You'll be blown away, not just because it's beautiful, but because of the treatment that goes on here. It's second to none. So
I totally agree.
Yeah. Well, thanks again, Mark. And thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Love you guys. Please share this with people you know that might be struggling, that need a little 20 seconds of insane courage. And I love you guys. And until next time, take care.
Thanks, Todd.